Everyone has their big family Christmas tradition, whether it's sitting around the table with the turkey, whether it's dressing the Christmas tree. But I don't know about you, but for my family, and I know many families across our region, part of that tradition is going along to the local pantomime. So welcome to this Christmas edition of the Full Steam Ahead podcast, where we're going to find out more about what's happening in pantomime here in Billingham, and also have a chat with some of the stars of our local pantomime as well. So I've got Robert and Liam here with me, who are starring our local pantomime here in Billingham. And I'm not going to give the game away. I wonder if you could tell me what the pantomime is and who you're playing. Do you want to say, Robert?
Yes, so this year's pantomime is we've gone with The Further Adventures of Peter Pan, The Return of Captain Hook. Yes, and I'm playing Mrs. Hook, so yeah, Captain Hook's wife.
Yeah, so you are the classic pantomime dame.
I am the classic
Billingham
pantomime
Forum.
dame. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, been here for 5 years now, so yeah, returning to the lovely Billingham Forum for a lot of fun at Christmas.
That's great, yeah. And what about yourself, Liam? So what part are you playing in the Panto this year?
So I play Mr. Smee, the comedy character, but I also write and direct the show as well.
So that sounds like it's going to be quite tricky, like directing the show and being in the show as well. So how do you manage that?
You get through it.
Robert's thinking not very well.
You get through. I think the key to making my life easy is picking a cast that I know that can do the job. Seasoned pros that come in where I don't.
Do you work with the same people every year?
So we've had Rob for the last 5 years. Ben Ryan Davies, who plays Peter Pan. He actually played Peter Pan last time they did it, which was about 10 years ago.
2018, I think it was.
Something like that. So, and Ben I've worked with many a times. Conor McIntyre, Pat Phelan from Corrie.
Yeah.
We worked with him 2 years ago. He played Flesh Creeps, so I know how Conor works and stuff like that. We've got Michelle Heaton from Liberty X. She's done Pantos. But we've got a newbie, which is Jessie Williams, who from Tracy Beaker and the Dumping Ground. This is actually her first pantomime, her first stage show.
Wow.
So, do you know, she's taken to it like a duck to water.
She's done a great job.
Yeah.
She's done amazing.
She's doing an amazing job. She was been so worked up and stressed about doing it, thinking, "Oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do this," because she's used to TV, and we can retake it if needs be. And we're like, well, actually, you can't in this instance because it's live theatre, but she has just taken to it so easily and so well.
It must be so different though. Like you say in TV, like it's very sort of formal and scripted, and you do it in these parts. And then, but Panto is like wild. It's like completely different. How do you? I mean, I sometimes wonder, how do you get through the show? Really, because it just seems as though it could career off the rails at any moment.
Sometimes on a wing and a prayer, we get through the show.
Yeah. I think the thing is as well, because it's such a long run, and you're doing 2 shows a day. So we're only getting 1 day off a week.
Wow.
So 6 days a week, we're doing this twice a day. You've got to learn with your audiences as well of going, your evening audiences are completely different to your school audiences.
Yeah.
So
which one is more challenging then? Is it
the school?
They're challenging in their own ways.
Yeah,
so like the schools get different things. The schools don't necessarily get the script in terms of what you're saying, but the visual elements,
the slapstick essentially.
We had a school show. I think it was Monday this week. It was a full house of schools, and we got to the ghost gag, which
I love the ghost scene. I'm so pleased as a ghost
great.
gag.
I love doing it, but you can never actually get through a ghost gag in a school show with actually being able to hear everyone.
Yeah.
It's literally 600 kids screaming and shouting, and you just look at each other and go, "Yep, your lips have stopped moving, so that means it must be me." Because you're next to each other, but the kids are so overpowering that you just can't hear.
Is that where they're all screaming in terror and also shouting like they're behind you and all that sort of stuff?
The thing is it's the bit in your ear when they scream and all you hear is crackling in your ear. You can't hear anything else. You just hear this crackling. Yeah. And especially when it's the teeny tiny kids as well.
Sounds amazing. I mean, you must get a lot of energy from that, though, because like you were saying, it's sort of 2 performances a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Which is like a physical endurance activity, essentially. But I guess you get that lift from the audience then.
You do. You know what I mean? Especially when you're having a day where you're tired and you run down, like... We've had people's voices go in, people get ill because it's this time of year. If we did Panto in the summer, nobody would be ill. It'd be brilliant. But when you see them kids and what they're enjoying and that they're loving it and stuff like that, that brings your energy up and that gets you through, the show and keeps you going.
And it must be like a real strain on your voice. So last week I was in Billingham Forum and I was having a look around the great leisure facilities there, and I went into the theatre as well, and you guys were on the stage doing your vocal warm-ups.
Yeah.
And so my job as well as a politician is very trying on your voice. I generally have a little packet of vocal zones around my person somewhere. But it's much more demanding for you. So how do you manage that? How do you look at after your voice, your most important tool in your box, I guess?
My dressing room looks like Boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just full of vocal zones, Jakemans, glycerin sweets.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own way. I mean, I used to, not so much anymore because I'm getting older. I used to just drink through it.
Really?
Which sounds awful, but...
Yeah,
they always say, you know, like port and stuff like that is good for your voice.
Oh, port is good for your voice. Yeah.
So I just used to drink through it.
Yeah.
But I'm now getting to that point where I can't do it anymore.
The thing is, when you get out of your 20s, that all gets very, very hard.
It's very much like your Jakemans, your honey and lemon teas and all that sort of stuff, and being sensible.
Yeah.
We've got what you can buy now on Amazon, which is brilliant, is nebulizers.
Yeah.
So for people that have like asthmatic problems, stuff like that, and they go into hospital and they're struggling to breathe, and they give them like a nebulizer with saline water, which you can buy online now, and you can buy the vials, you can buy the things, and that helps steam your vocal cords.
Yeah.
And also gargling with dispersible aspirin.
Yeah.
Right. These are all like really. These are all really great tips, I think, for me in my job as well. Actually, yeah. So if I'm going into the dispatch box in the comments, and I'm feeling a bit croaky or whatever, I'll know what to do next time. So. Yeah, but you mentioned you did Peter Pan, was it 10 years ago?
I was 17 or 18.
Yeah.
But the scripts change as well. You would do the script writing as well. So how you have to keep them up to date. So is there a big process? Do the whole cast help with that, or is that?
No, that's just down to
you
me.
in a room.
Because I've worked with Rob for lots of years now. At one point, we were doing 6 shows together a year, and we have our own company as well, which we tour. We tour an adult pantomime as well throughout the year. So I know a lot of things that me and Rob can do, and I'll say to Rob, what costumes are going on, what ideas are you putting in, so I can get some costumes to match that. But this one, I was saying to Rob, it was hard to write this one because it's a continuation. So this is after Captain Hook's been taken by the crocodile. So it's what happens after. So it's coming up with a brand new story of what to do on this. And also, with it being new, we can modernise it. And I think Pantos need to be modernised now, but we still need to keep the Panto traditions in the script. There's a lot of shows I go and watch where I go, that didn't make any sense. Why was that in the show? Or where's the ghost gag? Where's the finale number at the end of the show that everyone gets up on their feet and do? A lot of places don't do it anymore. So I like to keep tradition there, but the whole sense around this one, which is great for kids, and as a dad as well, I believe in this. It's about kids being on their mobile phones and being on the tablets and stuff like that. So it is up to date, it's modern with the girl that plays Angela, Jessie. So it's Wendy's granddaughter.
Oh, right. Yes, you've really moved it forward there.
Yeah, so Hook is back. Peter doesn't believe it. Tinkerbell's seen him and said, right, he's not believing. Who can I get that will come back and help Peter? We'll get Wendy. So she flies back to get Wendy. Wendy's not there anymore because time goes on. Over on the island, time does not continue. So sees Angela and they're on phones wanting to take selfies, put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram. So the whole senses of this show is about enjoying real adventures and not being stuck to a device.
Yeah, and that's great. What a great message for the kids. But like also as a parent myself, I'm really pleased to hear that you're giving messages like that as well, because it's really hard for kids being stuck to their devices all the time.
And it's nice that in the reviews as well, that the reviewers have picked up on that message as well and put it in of going, it's nice, because, you know what I mean, when we were kids, it used to be, you got up on a weekend, you'd have your breakfast, you'd watch a bit of breakfast telly, Then you go out and you won't come back in until you're shouted for your dinner.
Yeah.
Then you go back out and you won't come back in until you're shouted for your tea.
Yeah.
And then you go back out until it were bath time. You'd have your bath. You'd watch a bit of Saturday night telly. It were bed.
Yeah.
We went outdoors and we played. And
Pantos have always had that sort of strong like moral story in there as well. You know, the good guys always win at the end, don't they? So you're essentially bringing that up to date now. And the response, because you're already starting the run now, so you're saying you got some good feedback on the reviews from parents and so on.
Yeah,
as well,
reviews have been absolutely brilliant. Some really good reviews.
Maybe setting a new trend. Well, Panto's been around for a long time, and of course it's changed a lot over that time as well. But it is completely different to the rest of theatre. And I thought, if I was to ask you, what do you think are the things that make Panto different to the rest of theatre? So, I mean, so Robert, what do you think? If we just said, what are the 2 or 3 things that are just different about Panto?
The one thing that's great about Panto, I think, is that we hit on it briefly earlier, was the fact that the kids can get involved. People, not just the kids, audience can get involved with the show.
Fourth wall doesn't exist.
Yeah, the fourth wall doesn't exist, and they can get involved, and you can. The audience will randomly shout out, and you can either ignore it or go with it.
Yeah.
Connor sometimes ignores it, but mainly doesn't ignore it and goes with it and actually, oh no, you weren't loud enough, or no, and he goes back with back to the audience, and playing with the audience and such. And that's what's great about Panto. You can do that, and you can get away with that. And as a performer, you can play with it. You're not, like they're saying with we were saying earlier with TV. You're stuck to your limits. You know what you've got to do, what you can and can't do, and whether you can obviously no, that was bad. Let's retake or whatever. You can play, and yes, okay, you've still got to be careful. You've got to still be careful what you say, what you do, etc. Because it's obviously got to be child friendly, family friendly. But you can play.
You can have that interaction.
Yeah.
So is quite a lot of what you do, is it improvised then, or is the? I mean, obviously your script is amazing. Clearly you've got a very good script. But do you find that every night there'll be some things are improvised?
There are some elements,
that
change. I mean, there are some elements that weren't initially in the script and came from a Liam just saying something to me or me saying something to him on stage, and have actually now kind of stayed and become part of the script. So yeah, we can play, and we've obviously got parameters that we need to make sure we stick within. We don't want the show to run for an extra half an hour just because we as performers are playing and adding extra stuff. We've still got parameters.
That does happen though.
Oh,
I mean, I've been to Pantos that just went on for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, it does happen. And even with us, we have our show times read out to us by the DSM, the deputy stage manager, and 1 minute we're on like a 58-minute act 2, the next minute we're on an hour and 5 minutes. We're like, oh, what happened there? And then we get told off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's there's the set stuff, and there are stuff that gets added in, isn't there? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. There's stuff that will go, actually, like Liam says, there's stuff that your audience is like, well, this is a kid show, we're not going to bother doing that bit because they're not going to understand it.
Yeah, so you can cut as you're going along as well.
Yeah. There's bits where you would speed up. You just naturally speed up, and it doesn't mean that they're not getting any less of the show. But it's just
of course,
on an evening one, jokes that the adults will get. You'll leave a gap for them to laugh to. With the kids one, it just goes straight over. So you just move that along. So they're still getting the same show. It's just at certain points there might be different speeds, and on an evening there'll be certain points where you just let it breathe a little bit better.
We've got a tongue twister routine.
You mentioned this because you were on Look North last night, and which was amazing, by the way, and well done. And your costume and your makeup looked absolutely fabulous. But I remember you saying that the toughest thing is you've got a tongue twister routine, and it's you and Liam and Captain Hook as well. Yeah. So tell us about this. I mean, because I watched that and I thought I'm going to have to ask you just to do a bit of it. So what is this? What is this?
It's the tongue twister routine. It starts off just like with a simple, Connor, Captain Hook asks me to come over to me and ask me whether the ship is ready for sailing. And then I start by just giving him a simple line. I'm having a nightmare. The ship's not shape for sailing.
Right, okay.
And I say to Smee, go and tell him that.
Yeah.
So then obviously Liam goes back over to Captain Hook, and Captain Hook responds with something that's a little bit longer. And then comes back to me and reiterates what Captain Hook's just said. And then I have to add more to it. And it just gets longer and longer.
Yeah.
So there are some on a kid show.
I'm laughing already, and I haven't even heard the lines. But
And of course, they're all S's.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like, oh, let's make sure we don't. So it gets longer and longer. With a kids show, we just kind of rattle through it, don't we? We're like, okay, we'll just get through it. But an adult show, we're like, okay, there's time to breathe, time to think about it, right? And the next one, it just gets longer and longer. And I think it gets 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
It gets slightly longer.
Yeah.
The wordplay is amazing, really is.
The thing is like the last line is, are they sure that they should be splicing the sheets in a strong sea shaking situation? So the adults love it because they know that this could go wrong.
Yeah.
Touch wood, it's not. Because if not, we'll be in big trouble. But there was once where you came really close.
I came really close.
You came really close. He looked at me and I was just like, oh. And I was like, if that went wrong, the situation would have hit the fan, wouldn't it?
Would have done,
So, you know what I mean?
The jeopardy's good, isn't it?
Yeah. The adults love it. And we normally stick one in each year. But yeah, it's normally all on one word, that the S's and stuff like that. So
it's the fact that the Panto always works on 2 levels, isn't it? Isn't that great? You know, there's something for everyone in there, and like you say, the jokes can go over the heads of the kids, and they love the slapstick and all of that. So, Liam, how many years have you been doing the Panto here at the Billingham Forum?
So this is my 6th year at Billingham. Absolutely love it, and it's my 20th year in pantomime.
So you've 6 years at Billingham Forum, so you must enjoy being at Billingham. So what's special about doing the Panto at Billingham Forum then?
It's the family. It's the family of the theatre. You know what I mean? We're here for so long, and we're in everyone's pockets, and we get along so well. You know what I mean? The backstage crew, the front of house team, the bar staff, the box office, the management team. We are one big family, and that's what gets us through, and that's what makes it so special. And then when you bring the audience in, and they remember you and remember what you say and remember what you do, then they become part of the family as well.
And people tell me that audiences in different parts of the country react differently to different things. So is there anything special about audiences here? I don't know, Robert, if you've noticed anything special about audiences here in Stockton or Billingham that are different to what you see in other parts of the country?
I find with the audiences in Billingham, they go with you. They go with you. They get it. You know, there are some venues where you do your routines, you do the show, and you're like, are you actually with us? Are you just here watching because you paid to watch? But in Billingham, you just got they're with you. You just know that they're with you, and they're rooted like in like the sword fights or in the goodie versus baddie thing. They're with you. They're rooting for you, and I think that's definitely what's great. And like Liam says, you know, the Billingham family is great. You know, there are people here that you don't see until the next time I come up for Panto. Yet when I talk to them, it's like I've been with them for the whole year, and they're like, "Oh, how about this?" or "How's your family?" I mean, I saw we had our signer in a couple of nights ago, and she was like, "Oh, how did your house move go?" And I was like, "Actually, that didn't happen." She said, "Oh, but it was. You were." And I was like, "Yeah," and she remembered we'd had the whole conversation about last year. So.
So I think the thing there is, you know, it's amazing. You probably do realise this, but the impact that you have on people when you're doing that as well. Because I mean, so I remember, I think it could well have been the first time I'd ever been to a theatre in my life. Was I had a school trip for performance at Billingham, and I tell you, I could tell you every single bit about that. You know, the first theatre I set foot in was Billingham Forum. I could tell you all about the performance. And you know, who knows, for the actors on the stage, it would have been one of this hugely long run of performances. But for me, as a small child, it made this huge impression. I love going to theatre. I love live performance now. Yeah. Maybe that was the start of it. And you will be inspiring young kids from our local area, I think, to do that or to have that great experience. But Robert, so have you always played the Panto Dame? Was that something you always wanted to do? Because this is my favourite character in the pantomime, and I've been in a Panto once, and I played the Dame.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, I was still at school. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, what attracted you to that role? And,
I don't really know. I've played. I don't know, the very first time I played an ugly sister when I was in first or second school. I played an ugly sister in the school panto, and then I went up to like the Amdrams and watched. One year I went and watched the Panto, and I was like, I want to do that. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I was like, I want to perform. And I became a member of the local Amdrams at home, and I was there for however many years. And I kind of just got intrigued by the Dame. There was a resident guy who played the Dame for the Amateur Society for God knows how many years. And one year he was like, I need a year off. And again, it happens to be Cinderella because sometimes dames don't necessarily like doing Cinderella, because the show's not good, because it's actually sisters.
Yeah. It's not quite
Sometimes
the same.
dames don't necessarily like doing Cinderella. Some love it, and so I was asked if I'd consider doing it for the first time for the Amdrams, which I did, and I loved every minute. And then I was like, actually, I've kind of got the bug.
Yeah.
And I think it was obviously all the time that like Lily Savage was on the TV and all that, and Dame Edna were all on the TV, and I was like, actually, yeah, I quite like what they're doing, and it went from there. And then I played Dame for the amateurs for a few years, and then got invited to audition for a touring company, which I did. I went and auditioned, and I didn't get the Dame. I was cast as Abanaza, the baddie. So I normally play the Dame or the baddie.
What's best then, hero or villain? What do you think?
I love them both in different ways. They really are very different. I love the Dame because she's cheeky. She tongue in cheek, has a bit of a moment. Can flirt with the lads, and can get away with stuff. And then obviously have all the flamboyant, amazing costumes. So I love that. But I also love playing the baddie because, like Liam says, we've got an adult panto, and I'm normally the baddie in the adult panto. And I've played baddie a few times professionally, be it adult or not. And the baddie is also great fun because you're doing it for the boos. And everyone goes, you're getting booed. And I'm like, but actually, for a baddie, your boo is your...
The more boos, the better.
The more boos, the better. Your boos is your equivalent to an applause for a baddie. And... You can if you're having a baddie, you're like, do you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
And you just you walk on stage like, yes, this is me today. This is not me pretending. This is me. You just go. So I love doing them both in their own way. I'm quite lucky the fact that I get to do both each year. Yeah. In the fact that like Christmas I'm the Dame, and on the adult tour I'm normally the baddie. I mean, although this year I am playing playing Grind of the Good, the fairy, but. Yeah,
is Panto the only place where, in the whole of society now, where a hiss is an allowable form of sort of expression? I mean, you hear a lot of hisses when the baddie comes on the stage. No one ever does that anywhere else, do they really now? Yeah. Yeah. And so you're Smee this year, Liam, and is that your usual sort of role then? Is it the sort of like the clown character, isn't it? Really, in the
exactly.
Panto?
Yeah, because that's where like pantomime started. It started with commedia dell'arte. You know what I mean? It was clowning. It was clowning around. But yeah, that's what I play. That's what I love. There's going to be a certain point where I get too old for playing that, and then we'll have to make sure that year's Cinderella, and we'll have to sister together. But that's normally a natural progression with the comics, that they would go on to be a dame. But it's nice now that you actually see. I'm going to compliment you here. That you see a lot of younger dames now starting out.
Makes a change for this compliment.
But yeah, normally it used to be your comics that used to go on to be your dames after it got to the point they were too old to be a comic. But now you're seeing a lot more younger dames come through, which like sort of moving away from your Les Dawson sort of dames, are coming from more glamorous dames. Like sort of a lot of things come through with RuPaul Drag Race and stuff like that.
Course,
You see a lot of dames coming through like that, which is nice because it gives a bit of variety.
Different roles for people. So you mentioned commedia dell'arte, which makes me think that you've got a very extensive knowledge of pantomimes, which is lucky, because I've got a Panto quiz.
Oh, right.
Because like what you want to do at Christmas is have a bit of quiz. So here we go. So I've got 10 questions for you on pantomimes, and you should like have a little bit of competition between the two of you and see how many questions you get. Some of them are easy, some of them are less so. So are you ready for a little quiz?
Let's do it.
Ready for a quiz? Okay. This one's an easy one to start you off with. In which pantomime does Buttons make an appearance?
Cinderella.
Very good. Yeah. In the pantomime Snow White, what are the names of the 7 dwarfs?
Now see.
Depends.
Now see. Now you.
In the classic.
Classic Disney.
In the classic Disney version of Snow White, what are the names of the 7 dwarfs? You'll have your own names, obviously.
Sleepy. Dopey.
Yeah.
Grumpy.
Yeah.
Bashful.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Only one.
Sneezy.
It's Sneezy. Yeah, well done. That's really amazing. Well done. Name 2 pantomimes featuring wolves.
Beauty and the Beast.
Red Riding Hood.
Red Riding Hood. Yeah. I would have also accepted 3 Little Pigs. Right, so this is your historical one. Which theatre in London can be considered the original home of pantomime in the Victorian era?
Is it Drury Lane?
Drury Lane's an acceptable answer. Lincoln is also potentially one as well, but Drury Lane I would have said is your number 1 answer, so well done with that. Right, keep this one clean, please. What is the name of Cinderella's dad?
Baron Hardup.
Baron Hardup, correct. Name 2 pantomimes set in the Far East.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
And
Aladdin's my favourite, by the way. That's the one I really like.
Alibaba.
Alibaba and the 40
And the
Thieves.
Thieves.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, 2 pantomimes with flying carpets. So there we go. Right, so this is another historical one, so it might be one for you, Liam. Before the Dame and the Clown in pantomime, which character, famous for their checkered clothing, was the star of the show?
a Harlequin.
Harlequin. Gosh, you are good. Right, this is another one you need to keep clean. What is the occupation of Widow Twanky?
She's a laundress or laundry worker.
She certainly is. That's her main job anyway, shall we say. Name 2 pantomimes featuring cats.
Dick Whittington. And Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots, yeah, that's right. I always get them mixed up, to be honest. Right, last one. 10 seconds. Name as many panto titles as you can.
Cinderella, Snow White, Aladdin, Puss in Boots, Pinocchio, Little Mermaid, Robinson Crusoe. What we're doing? Jack and the Beanstalk.
That's your 10 seconds. You've got 8. That's not bad. That's very good. Well done. Yeah. And of all of those, which is your favourite? Do you have a favourite?
I do.
Yeah.
It's one that doesn't get done as much.
All right. Which one's that?
Dick Whittington.
All right. Great.
For some reason, if you're in big cities, it'll do well.
Yeah.
In smaller towns, doesn't normally do well. I had the honour of doing it at the Liverpool Empire.
Right. Well.
One year, and it was a huge show. And Dick Whittington, for me, story-wise, and the gags and stuff like that, is absolutely brilliant. Yeah. But for a part to play in the favourite panto would be Buttons in Cinderella.
Yeah, that's classic, that one, particularly for your role.
Yeah,
definitely,
exactly,
That's absolutely it.
I've always loved to perform in. I've always loved Aladdin because obviously it's set in Far East, so you get to play a little bit more with costumes for the Dame.
Yeah.
You can go a little bit exotic and everything with all the costumes. I've always loved to do Aladdin. But yeah, I am a fan of Dick Whittington as well because he's very, it's quite the story as a whole is quite nicely packaged up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, so maybe we might see Dick Whittington come to Billingham Forum. I don't know. Maybe.
I would love if it was my decision. I would love to bring it.
Yeah, because I mean, as you sort of alluded to, it's a big commercial decision, actually, isn't it? Because you've got to pick a show the local audience are going to like, but it's really vitally important for the theatre as well, isn't it? Because this is the big money spinner for the theatre in the year, isn't it? Is pantomime.
There's a lot of theatres that have pantomime that keep them open for the year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Tickets like Billingham, we are very reasonably priced for the area, very reasonably priced. But it generates a lot of money, and it keeps the theatre going, and that's the main thing. Is you know what I mean, especially from after COVID, a lot of venues closed, and not being able to reopen, which is a shame because you know what I mean that community has lost something at Christmas, and pantomime is mainly the first thing and maybe the only thing of the year of theatre that kids will see.
Yeah. Maybe the only theatre they go to at all. So you're right. So there's lots of good reasons for people to go to pantomime, particularly support their local panto here in Stockton North, whether it's in Billingham or one of our other great theatres in Stockton, because they'll have a great time, but also because it's supporting all of those other shows around the year. I think when you finish your run, Shawshank Redemption starts at the Forum, and all of these other things that will be happening during the year will all be there because of the work that you're doing, providing that good financial basis for the Forum. But let's just make sure people are aware of how they can get, because you're right, the tickets are very reasonably priced. I think they start at about £30 at Billingham Forum, which is very good compared with a lot of other places.
That's your maximum.
That's your maximum, sorry.
No, actually £29. You won't get a ticket for more
than £29, you're right. Sorry, that's the top of the range ticket. But many other more reasonably priced tickets, they can get in touch with the box office, and the run goes on until
4th of January.
4th of January, and twice a day, 6 days a week, so there's no
we're
excuse.
only on single seats up until, I think, just after Christmas. We're basically sold out until just after Christmas now.
Brilliant.
Single seats on for certain shows, though.
Yeah, but then after Christmas, there might be a few.
There's availability. I'm not quite sure how much, but there is availability.
Are you on Boxing Day? That was always the traditional day to start pantos, so people can get out there.
One day off, Christmas Day off, and that's it.
Then straight through. And did you finish early on New Year's Eve then, or is that?
We got early shows.
11 and 3.
11 and 3. Brilliant. So people should get along to that. And I imagine you're probably already thinking about 2026 Panto as well. Is that right? What have we got in store for 2026?
We've got Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. Oh, what a lovely one! Yeah, that'd be
Sleeping
great.
Beauty.
Yeah.
It was the Panto that we tried to put on the year during COVID,
Right.
and we actually got up until dress rehearsal. We were doing the dress rehearsal when we got told that we were staying in the same tier of what we was.
Ah, right.
So we literally just finished dress rehearsal and then all got packed up and
go
went
then.
home.
Yeah.
So
Get that one out of the box and pull it through, ready to go. Then.
yeah, well, the one that we did for that year was one act, obviously to try and keep in with the guidelines and stuff like that. And Billingham was brilliant for it, the Forum, because it's all boxes.
It is,
So it was so much easier to do the isolation and stuff like that with the families.
Yeah.
So it's going to need to be added to and made bigger,
I'm
because
going to have to
obviously
learn
one
new
act.
lines because I was Caraboss. So
Yeah,
I was
you
a bit
was,
of baddie
yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to learn new lines in this year.
learn more
Because this
lines.
should be Queen Betty of Billingham.
Yeah.
Queen Betty of Billingham.
And this is a good query. I like that. This is another thing that people should know if they haven't been to Billingham Forum as well. You're saying the way it's all boxes. It's very modern theatre, beautiful theatre. Everyone can see the stage. There's no, you don't have one of these seats behind pillars or any of that sort of
No
stuff.
restrictions anywhere.
So no matter, it's also very accessible for people as well.
Yeah.
And you're actually running some sort of more accessible shows, relaxed performances, aren't you? So people shouldn't feel concerned about anything. They can just go there and have a nice time and join in whatever how they feel about it.
Pantomime is open for everyone. You know what I mean? We have a relaxed performance, so on the relaxed performances we take the sound levels down, so it's not overbearing. The stuff like the pyrotechnics and stuff like that we don't put in, so we don't want the kids to be frightened. And we also leave the house lights on in the auditorium, about 20%. So people can feel free to leave if they want to go and have a little bit of a rest and then come back in. They can literally freely move. We also introduce the baddie at the beginning of the show, so they can see it's a nice person, and what they like is they like booze. And it's about making theatre accessible for everyone. You know what I mean? People don't just come to the relaxed performance. People come to any performance. But if anyone's like, and even young kids, where parents go, I don't know if they're too young to come to this or not. Are they going to cry through it? Are they going to kick off through it or anything like that? They've got the opportunity to come to the relaxed performance. So then, if they do have a moment, they can have a moment. That's fine.
Exactly right. And I think everyone should realise no one minds about that. It's all part of the show, isn't it?
Exactly.
Really. But I've got one more question for you. You've got this really long run. The only day you get off is Christmas Day. What do you do on Christmas Day?
Personally, sleep.
I've got kids, so
you do everything.
I do everything. But luckily, the in-laws live next door, and they're cooking Christmas dinner this year, so
fantastic.
I don't have to worry about that.
Well, you deserve it. You deserve a bit of a rest. Robert, Liam, I want to thank you very much in your incredibly busy schedule for coming along and having a chat with me in my. You wouldn't believe it, but I am wearing a Santa hat. This is the Christmas performance. I don't know where the tinsel is, but anyway, look, best of luck for you both for what I know will be a great show. And if anyone hasn't got their tickets yet to go and see the further adventures of Peter Pan and the Return of Captain Hook, did I get that right?
You got it spot on.
Then get yourselves along to Billingham Forum to see these two guys in action and the amazing cast there as well. You'll be guaranteed a great performance, and of course, bring all of the kids and the grandparents as well and have a lovely family day out too. Bye for now.